Yes, what's happening, people? We're back. 12th man is back. Arsenal roundabout is back. Make sure you do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. Please make sure that you're supporting both the sponsors of this channel. We've got Match Bingo in the live chat and in the description. Make sure you're using the code POTS and you've downloaded that. Hopefully, some of you have won money tonight. You definitely won money last night because I had a lot of people messaging me saying Match Bingo come through for them on the Arsenal game. So big up to everyone that did win, and make sure that Match Bingo is a part of your everyday now that there's loads of football on. Make sure you're also following OK Jerseys as well with £15 jerseys with 8% off using 12 man as the code. They've been brilliant to us, so show them some love. You can go and get retro kits like the one that I'm wearing, or if you want to go international and get R9, Brazil, Zidane, France, you can do that as well. So make sure you go and show them some love. We've got Kenny Ken in the house. We've got Aaron back. We've got Igal. We've got D. And we've got a debut on the channel for Dan. Positive Dan, Gunas Therapy. Dan, welcome, bro. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on, Dan. Buzzing, absolutely buzzing from yesterday. Over the moon. I haven't stopped smiling all day. Yeah, man. Good time to be an Arsenal fan.
Oh, mate, it was a good one, man. That second half performance was lit. We're going to get into it for sure. Stricto's going to jump on at some point. He's just running a little bit late. So the next 10, 15, I expect to see him. I'm going to start with Igal tonight because me and Igal had a chat yesterday before the game and we was talking about how it's going to be a tight one and we might nick it. And I think at the prediction of his show, I think I went 2-1 and Igal went 1-0. And my God, Igal, we were both very, very wrong. It was not tight. It was an absolute demolition, destroyed, pammed, fried, and cooked them, bro. Diego Simeone didn't know what to do. He come out and said, hands up, that team are good. And we saw in the press conference the love that we were getting. And you know what? Well deserved. I thought everybody was outstanding last night in that second half. I thought there was definitely a mention for a few individuals. But how did you see it, Igal? Talk to me.
Complete team performance. Shout out to the boys. They did their job. And I think at this point, people need to just stop talking about Set Piece FC because I feel like a lot of the people talking about Set Piece FC, they're just kind of being hypocrites and the media jumping on it. Honestly, just let them say whatever they want to say. They're just upset that a team of our stature is so good at set pieces and corners that we almost score them like they're at the rate of which teams score penalties. Since we don't get many penalties, I guess we had to find another way. When it comes to Gabriel Martinelli, he has been stepping up in the Champions League. That's 3 games in the Champions League, 4 goal involvements, 3 goals, 1 assist. Gyökeres bagging a brace. I feel like Gyökeres has been getting too much stick lately. His overall performances have been there. He's needed those goals. It's good to see him get the ball in the back of the net, and you can tell by the whole team's reaction. It was something that they're thinking about, and it was nice to see him get on the goal sheet. Gabriel Magalhaes, I think it's just safe to say he's one of the best centre backs in the world at what he does in both boxes, by getting goal involvements on a regular basis. And he has probably more goal involvements than some attackers this season with the amount of times that he gets involved in the final third. We can all rave about every individual player who played well. Zubimendi and Lewis-Skelly for me stand out amongst the rest. Zubimendi yesterday made Liverpool fans realize what they missed out on for him not picking them over Arsenal and all those other teams that were interested in him, Real Madrid, Bayern, everyone who's interested in Zubimendi, they can see the quality that he brings to the team. He's just one of those guys who's just going to consistently do everything you need from a midfielder. And Lewis-Skelly, my God, what a run. He changed the game with in that second goal, glided past every individual player and just made it look so easy, like a knife through butter. And when you have a night like that, it's one of the best nights. But now, and it puts a statement out there, it puts a marker out there. It tells everybody how serious we are. This is the team that beat Real Madrid 5-2 just a couple of days ago. And people are like, you know what? This is not an easy test. It's one of our toughest tests. And we passed in flying colors. And Arteta thoroughly outclassed Diego Simeone, who we've had conversations about as a potential Arteta replacement on this show numerous times. Personally, I don't want to hear nothing about Arteta. I don't want to hear no negative about Arteta. I don't want to hear no negative about this team. At this moment in time, I think everyone just needs to wake up and smell the coffee that we are a legit side. We are one of the best sides in Europe, and we now need to just go and add some silverware to all this stuff that we're doing, because we're out here breaking records, but we need to start lifting those trophies. So until it comes to May and we start lifting those trophies, a lot of these people will continue to run their mouths. And it's just all about us keeping that consistency and going on and doing what we deserve to do, because we are easily one of the best teams in this competition and in the Premier League.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute for sure. Let's concentrate on last night. D, bruv, that second half was one that I was proud of. The first half was as I expected it to be fair, bro. I thought they were going to make it difficult. I thought better side. I thought Saka was the best player. And then I felt like everybody in the second half kind of overtook Saka in terms of their performance. I thought he became one that was okay in the end and not one of the best. I actually loved some of the performances from some of the individuals that Igal's spoken about. But how did you see it, bruv?
Yeah, I echo what Igal said all the way. I think there's only one little bit that I'm probably more focused on which is this performance sends shockwaves around Europe. But the more impressive win for me would be Crystal Palace on Sunday. I think that to me is the one that we really, because if I had a choice, which game was probably more important, I would probably say Crystal Palace. I really need us to follow this up with a Crystal Palace win. I think yesterday's result, obviously, it was the most mature performance I've seen us have in a long, long time. We had it at Newcastle away a couple of weeks ago, but this performance was a mature performance. And one thing we've got to remember is that this team's young, but they're growing together. When we wanted them to win the league and we said, oh, we expect them to win the league and stuff like that, Saliba was 22, Saka was 22 years old. These guys were 23, 22, 21 years old. Now they've had 3-4 years of playing together, and no big players have left to go to other clubs, and they're all growing together for the first time. So this is the first time that this team have actually starting to become men. And what we've got to do as fans and as Arsenal advocates, I guess, online, is remember the ages of these guys and say, you know what, you're starting to grow into yourselves now, and let them become men, because you don't expect men to be or children to be men straight away. We don't do that in real world, so we shouldn't do it in the football world. We can't expect Lewis-Skelly, who's 18, to be the best left back in the league and win leagues already. But for some strange reason, because we're desperate for titles, that's what we do. But we've got to let them actually grow and gain the experience that they need. And I feel like that's what they're doing. I think we're getting to the point now where that's Atletico Madrid. Like, that's Atletico. You got to remember that's a team that they're on the floor every minute. They're holding you every minute. They're kicking you every minute. They're from corners. They're dragging you to the floor. That's all they're doing. And one thing that they don't do is they can't deal with set pieces. And when we talk about set pieces, this is the reason why we do set pieces, so that when you can't break a team down, you've got something that you can do that can unlock a team. It's not so much about relying on it. It's about giving another option. And I think that's what we do, like, more than any other team right now. But I would still say we need to focus on Crystal Palace. I think, like, what do you guys think? Do you not think Atletico Madrid right now are better than Crystal Palace? What do you guys think? I want to know what you lot think about that.
Yeah, of course they are. Of course they are.
So?
100%. Yeah, they're definitely better than. They just beat Real Madrid 5-2 not long ago. They've been scoring goals. They beat Frankfurt 5-1. They've got a team that's been together for years. One of the best managers in the world. He's been there 14 years. He's built that team. You know, they've how about Crystal Palace won the FA Cup, but this team won the league only a few years ago.
Easier than the Premier League.
How about this? I'll rephrase it. I feel like Atletico Madrid played us a little bit more. What do you call it? With less respect than what Crystal Palace will. Crystal Palace will play a lot more. What do you call it? Cautious than Atletico Madrid would.
I do think Crystal Palace will give it a go though at some point in that game. Crystal Palace won't put 10 men behind the ball. No way. At some point,
Palace haven't lost.
The way that Palace
have
is
lost.
set up. The way that
Palace at their ground for how long? They lost at their ground for like.
Yeah, I know, but they lost. They lost the
way that Palace is set up with their how do they set up? 3-4-3 basically, to a certain degree. If you look at it that way, they're gonna be better suited to play a mid block and play in the counter than Atletico Madrid's 4-4-2. I felt like their formation really suited us because it made it a lot easier for us to press their back line. Where when they have a back three, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to press them.
What I mean by that is, in the Champions League, teams play to their own strengths. In the Premier League, teams play to your weaknesses. That's kind of what happens between the two competitions. So I feel like the Champions League suits us. Teams will leave. Gabriel wasn't even marked for his goal. He wasn't even being marked. So teams will leave, and your team will allow you to have space because they're playing to their strengths. But to me, I'm more impressed with the maturity of the win. And I was more impressed, like I say, at St. James's Park, with how we played at St. James's Park. But I feel like this team's growing together, innit? So you can't really complain. You beat who's in front of you. And Atletico Madrid are a top team in the world, innit? And you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. So
what's your take? Are you saying Crystal Palace is going to be harder?
Crystal Palace will be harder, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's easy to say that now after we've beaten them 4-0, isn't it? You know?
No. The Premier League, I think, is harder than the Champions League. Of course, it is. The depth in the Premier League is. Where do you think the top
Champions League is the highest level, man.
No, it's not.
Especially maybe not.
I hear his point though. His point is not about the quality of the team; it's about the way the games are played.
You're gonna the Premier League is hard. The Premier League.
I think we're more likely to win the Premier League than we are the Champions League.
No, I agree there because we haven't won it.
Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because the Premier League, we've gone really close, right? To two seasons, and obviously last year we all know what happened with the injuries and that. But over 38 games, I see us being the best team. I don't see anyone being better than us this year. Personally, I've tipped us to win the Premier League at the start, and I'm obviously still sticking by that. With the Champions League, anything can happen. A moment of magic. You're playing against the very best. Once it gets to the knockout stages, the quarterfinals, you're only playing against top teams, especially when it gets to the semis and the quarters, right?
Yeah.
PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. These are top elite teams where you have one bad half, you're out. You have a bad 5 minutes.
They wouldn't win the Premier League, bro. Those teams wouldn't win the Premier League.
PSG wouldn't win the Premier League? Maybe.
I don't know, boys. At the end of the day, though, like what we got to look at is it's a fantastic win for Arsenal Football Club. It sends out some messages. It sends out a statement like what Gal alluded to. It sends out a good message. It doesn't send out a message of we're the best in the world. We're going to win the Champions League. But what it does go is people are going to look over their shoulders and go, "Oh wow, Arsenal just beat Atletico Madrid 4-0. Jesus Christ, didn't see that coming. No one in this panel saw that coming. No one in this chat saw that coming." A couple of us might have gone a little 1-0. Some of us might have even gone as far as a 2-0, maybe a 3-1 at a maximum. No one said 4-0. Did anyone put your hands up? No, no one did. So it's a fantastic day at the office. I think Arteta did get the better of Simeone on the day. And fair dues to him. Flowers have got to be given. Do you know what I mean? Credit where credit's due. If you don't do it, it invalidates your criticisms. So fair dues to the geezer. He's got it absolutely right. What I like about it as well is, and I said this on another channel before, it was a big win for Arsenal for the Champions League, and I'll tell you why. So not only just a statement in itself, it gives Arsenal a little bit of breathing space now. We're 9-9, yeah? Still ain't conceded a goal, but that's nothing to do with my point. Now we got Bayern Munich coming up as our next home game. Yeah, I can't think of the games in between. But we can probably relax and draw. Yeah, that's it. We can relax and draw that now. Do you know what I mean? That win against Atletico, a big win. I don't think a lot of us would have seen that. That gives us a little cheeky draw at Bayern now. You go there and you win that game and you go to Bayern Munich 12-12 when then coming to us. You can go, if we draw this, it's not the worst thing in the world. We're then allowing ourselves to utilise our squad. And that's what it was today. You know, you're not drawing today or yesterday or getting a bad win or getting, a bad loss or something like that. And then all of a sudden you're making up points. We've really given ourselves a bit of rope. Do you know what I mean? And I think fair dues to us. We're in a fantastic position, both in the league and the Champions League. So credit's got to be credits where it's got to be given. Do you know what I mean? I don't mind all of that. But let's just not get too double carried away with it. Do you know what I mean? It's only 3 games. It's only 8 games in the league. But look, I'm happy at the minute. Do you know what I mean? And I said backstage, I found a tenner in the morning. Come on, man. I found a tenner on the floor. Who does that anymore? Who does that anymore? I'm the happiest Arsenal fan there is right now.
It's meant to be, mate. It's meant to be, brother.
The last time I found money, £50 note, mate, was 3-0 down to Man City at Wembley in the Carabao Cup final. And I left on like the 70th minute, and as I looked down, there was 50 quid on the floor. I thought, fucking hell, at least I got. I found
5p today. I found 5p today.
5p, yeah.
No one has money anymore, man. How are you finding all this money? Yeah, look, Kenny, you were there. Me and you were there. Who do you think deserves to be highlighted individually from last night? Who impressed you?
The guy that it's a team. It's a team. There's no one player that impressed me. It's how we, like I said, we show our energy levels. we had an extra gear, and the Spaniards didn't know what to do with themselves, especially when we got the second goal. When we got the second goal, it was game over. We could have got three. We got a third, then we got a fourth. It could have been anything. And then when Arteta made his substitutions, that's when I suppose the rhythm of the game slowed down, and then it was a case where Atletico tried to keep the score down. But look, where I've been on a couple of shows today, and I say to myself right now, everything's in place for success. Everything's there. The manager's got everything he wants. He's got the support from the board and the technical director. He's got 2 players for every position. I'll be absolutely stunned if we don't win anything. I'll be gutted because in all the time I've watched football, I've never seen a team with these options and seen this good not win anything. It'd be an absolute shame if we don't win anything. This is bigger for me. It's bigger than who I blame for it and who I think should come or go. I think it's just that for this season, everything's there for success. I have to be honest, it's there. We just have to be professional, deal with all the adversity that's going to come. There's going to be times where we're going to be absolutely knackered second half of the season, but now we've got the options. It's about pacing ourselves, but everything's in place.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was alluding as well, with getting the points on board in the Champions League, because, I wasn't sort of being saying, we can afford to draw by them. Of course, I want us to beat them, but you can game manage then. You can go to that Bayern game and go, if we do draw, fair enough, we can win another game. If you get the points in board nice and early, all of a sudden you can look at the last 2 fixtures in Milan. 1 second, bro. In Milan, and then you're like, all right, yeah, can we rest the game after that? You've got that carry out afterwards. Do you know what I mean? Them games, especially coming up towards around winter time or just after, they're when you need your squad the most, and getting the points now, big points now, is what you want. Do you know what I mean? Just being able to have that flexibility to utilize it. Games are coming thick and fast. They do every single match day, don't they? Every single week, and being able to flex your squad like we've got a big squad. Getting these points on the board and allowing us to rotate and hopefully at the end of it, meaningless games in the Champions League is what I want to see, man. And we're doing the business right now. I can't lie. I'm happy.
Let me ask Dan a question quickly, because obviously we've already had the funny thing about it is we've also already had an injury crisis this season already. That's the funny thing. We've still managed to get through these injuries. But you see, Dan, when you was at the game, because the first half to me seemed like really, it was so intriguing to me. It was like really nip and tuck between the 2 teams. Like it felt so cagey and so like on edge to me. I don't know, is that how it felt? Because I see a lot of reactions and everyone saying, easy win, it was so easy, we was never in trouble, whatever. But I don't know, to me in the first half it seemed really cagey.
Yeah, I think on the concourse people were saying, what do you reckon? And I said, this is what I expected. I expected that to be another 45 minutes how we see it. Now, what was so impressive to me was it wasn't. We absolutely dominated. Now, I think when you look at the 2 teams, you look at 2 managers that we know what they're about. We know that they play a certain way. And at the moment, Arteta's playing that certain way. Diego Simeone was always going to make it try to make it difficult for us. And in the first half, I felt that we did. Other than Raya dicking around with it, I'm not so sure that Atletico Madrid really did much other than hit the bar in the second half. So I don't really think that it was a wow, they're peppering us and this is what I expected. But I did feel in the concourse at half time that Saka's our best player. We are the better team. Let's see what it's like in the second half. Well, the second half for me, I've got to be honest, Declan Rice, he just turned it on. He just turned it on and said, I'm covering every blade of grass. I'm going to drive this team forward. And you've always got a chance when you've got Gabriel on your side, man. This guy is ridiculous, man. In terms of offensively from set pieces, there ain't a better centre half. And I can understand why people think he's better than Saliba, because as much as I prefer watching Saliba aesthetically, Gabriel's got absolutely everything about his game that you want in a centre half, whether it be offensively from corners, what he does, his strength, his power. He's just an absolute colossus, a monster. And I don't know a centre back that's doing what he's doing right now, boys. I really don't. I think we've got the best defence in Europe. And like Kenny says, that's why I've got faith that we're going to win something now, because this defence is so good. To have not conceded a goal at home since the group stages have started in the Champions League is phenomenal. That's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that's 9 games now.
Potsy, how mad is it to think that if Gabriel got injured, I don't know what we'd miss worse, like his defensive or his attacking. Do you know what I mean? That's mad, isn't it? When you sit and think like that,
It'd be his attacking. It'd be his attacking threat. And I feel, but what I always say is, if your centre backs are in the game, not in terms of goal scoring, they're having a bad game. But don't underestimate how good Saliba was, because we didn't notice him. If you don't notice your defender, your centre back, he's having a brilliant game. And Saliba, you did not notice him at all. That game was easy for him. So don't underestimate how good Saliba was as well, because obviously he didn't get on the score sheet or get an assist. He was phenomenal. It was so easy.
Same with
for him
Timber.
that game.
Same with Timber.
Yeah, I
and
was just
Lewis-Skelly.
going to say.
Yeah, Timber's ridiculous.
He's mustard, isn't he? He's mustard, that boy. That
Gabriel's-
right back you're in Timber is
All
mustard.
right, you know what I love about this stream?
Gabriel's got 26 goals for Arsenal as well.
It's crazy.
You know what I love the most about this stream so far? I can see that in quick succession in October, some doubters have already turned into believers, and I love that because the way that these guys are playing, they instill belief in the fan base. They instill belief in everybody. That they the way that we when we rotate or we make substitutions, everything about how we've been performing since the start of the season, besides the Liverpool and Man City game, has really just instilled confidence within everybody. And I can tell this is the first time where I see the fan base, the players, the manager, and even the wider public all agreeing that just we are one of the best teams. And I don't think anything can stop us besides ourselves. I don't think no outside element is going to be the main reason why we don't win. If we don't win, it's really just going to be on internal issues.
Again, I'll just comment on that though. To be fair, what we sort of see when we've got this top gunners, bottom gunners, whatever you want to call it, we're just calling it as we see it. And the only reason why you'd say we'd be negative is because there's been nothing really to be boasting about. Do you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden we've started the season and we're top. Now all of a sudden we've started the Champions League campaign and it's all going good. So all we're doing is just calling it as we're seeing it. Just the same as we've been doing it before.
But everyone is starting to believe a little bit more.
The results are better. But why? Because the results are better. Because the league standing is first and not second or third or fourth. The Champions League as it is. So I do I'm not just taking what a bit of Gal said absolutely whatsoever. But just basically saying that we're just calling it is as we see it, game in, game out, season in, season out. The only difference really is that Arsenal were playing much better. We're top of the league for crying out loud. You know what I mean? It is looking better. But now look,
dropped points. Liverpool lost 3 games in a row, and everyone's like, you know what? Now they see that space. And I feel like if Liverpool were still top, there would still be some caginess within the fan base. It's the fact that we're top of the table, the fact that we're playing so well in the Champions League just adds more to it. The fact that we know we have the squad depth that we can rotate, hopefully, in the cup competitions. And I'm just happy that for once it seems like the whole fan base is united behind the team and believing that this team can finally get over the line. Even the most pessimistic of us all.
I think we need to wait. I think we need to like wait a little bit though.
It is refreshing to see even the most pessimistic people saying, you know what, I see the vision.
Gal, I'll do my channel with my mate and I'll call him Negative Dan, Positive Dan. That's like our 2 names, nicknames or whatever for the channel. And even him now, and he's very, very negative. The smile on his face now on the streams. He even said Vamos. Yeah, and he's Arteta's biggest critic. And he's starting to believe. He said he's never believed this much since it's in the Emirates era. He's never believed this much that we could go on to win the Premier League. And it's a beautiful thing seeing it, you know.
Well, look, the thing is, though, this is why I said it in my opening thing, just not get carried away. We're at the end of October is all what we're saying. That's why we've all never been like that. That's why we never get giddy, if you want to call it our side of the fence, is because it's October. Yeah, we're just happy with what we're seeing. I always articulate.
Do you think we'll win the league, though?
Huh?
Do you think we'll win the league?
We've got a great chance to win the league. Yeah, I think
there you go. That's more than I've ever heard from you all last season.
I think we've got a good chance to win. Yeah, because we never first once last season. That's why you go. And we were 5 points, 10 points, 15.
Even going into the season, I don't think I ever heard you saying, you know what? I always heard you saying, let's see, questioning.
Of course, because the season hadn't started.
I think we have to. I'm not saying we must win the Champions League because Arsenal have never done it in their history, but I think we've got to win the league. I think
Oh,
we've
yeah.
got to now. I think we've got to.
Yeah.
Like, we've
Sure.
got the best
At that
squad,
point.
the most balanced squad. The manager's been there or thereabouts. He's trying to get us across the line. Liverpool have fallen. Okay, they absolutely battered Frankfurt tonight. Manchester City have got Haaland, but let's be real, no one else is really favourites to get near the title. I think Arsenal have got to do it. Stricto, let's bring you in, bro. Unbelievable last night. What did you make of it? What players do you want to talk about? And brilliant night for the Arsenal, bro.
Before you ask him, Dan, ask him what when we was on the stream, what conversation me and him were both having. Ask him to clarify that first because I haven't spoke to him since Monday, so ask him to clarify that first. And then he knows what I'm gonna say.
No. You know what?
You know what I'm gonna say.
You know
so
what? You see the kind of man I am, bro. You see the kind of man I am, yeah. I put my hands up if I get shit wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So hands are up in it. I got it wrong. All right. Yeah.
What do you say? What do you say?
I said to him, Gyökeres might do with getting a bench for the Atletico game.
For who?
No, for Marino. And I don't think that's a wild take.
It's wild.
I don't think it's a wild take. But D, fair to D. D said, "Nah, man, you can't drop him. The only way he's gonna turn his scoring around is by actually playing and getting as much minutes." So fair dues. I'm happy to be proved wrong. But big up everyone in the panel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Big up, bro.
But I have issues today, bro. I have issues today.
Where
the bottom gooners at? Where the bottom gooners at, man? I need you lot out, man. Because I need that energy that I was getting the other day when things weren't looking too right. Everyone and their mom had something to say and say this and that, and Arteta this and the club this and
replace Arteta with Simeone. I was hearing.
Simeone is the this and that, and now Arsenal.
No one said that last week. That was months ago, years ago.
And you, Stricto, you do realise what you're doing now has probably happened for the last 5 years, and egg has landed on everyone's face on your side of the fence every fucking season. So just remember.
Hey, by the way, you're on this side. One second, Aaron, don't do that. You're on this side of the fence right now.
Hold on.
I'm on my side of the fence, mate. I'm in my own garden, looking into the rain and saying things as I see it.
The difference is we've seen it. We've seen it coming a long time ago. We know this team's about to do something special. It's taken a little bit longer, but now everyone can see it's going to happen.
No, but you know what?
And in 2023,
I disagree with that. I don't think everyone wants to see. I think everyone's just biding their time until maybe there's a puncture on the tires, and then everyone then comes back again. Listen, I've always said,
if we draw in the weekend, all hell will break loose.
That's what I'm saying. It's still very volatile, right? I think the only reason why the bottom gooners are not really standing strong as they usually do is because things have been going right. I haven't heard nothing from them, by the way. I haven't heard nothing from them. Like the whole term,
you know why? Because they have no belief in Man City or Liverpool actually being good enough.
The whole term bottom gooners, top gooners, I don't think it was formed by someone who's a top gooner. That was formed by a bottom gooner. That terminology never existed before. I never heard it. So someone come
First time I've heard it, to be fair.
There you go. Someone come and tell me I'm a top gooner. I don't know what the fuck that meant. But here's my point is
wasn't it?
When Arsenal is doing well, the trajectory is doing well. There's a bit of hush. There's no
Arteta out.
There's no toxicity, but the toxicity is there. It's just on a tame, just waiting for the volcano to erupt. Do you get what I'm saying? Now,
what you're asking for us is to complain about something when there's nothing to complain about. That's ridiculous.
But there's always been something. It's either set pieces.
You don't complain when there's nothing to complain about. Well, it's self-explanatory.
No. People were complaining about Gyökeres.
Trajectory.
Yeah, that's why it was the perfect win.
The team has been on a trajectory. Even when we were second, the team was on a trajectory.
Stricto. Stricto, you're not perfect yourself. You were out here talking about Gyökeres getting dropped just a couple days ago.
Thank you. I'm not exactly my point. The difference is, Egal, I will change my mind if there's something to change my mind about. I can put my hands up when I'm wrong. I cannot die on a hill. Certain men are willing to die on a hill, die on an agenda, just to prove that they were right. They don't want to be wrong. They want to prove that they're right. So they can come back and say, do you know what? I told you so. This club has been. I told you the manager's not good enough. The players are not good enough. There's a difference. D.
Well, what's
Stricto.
the excuse going to be when Arteta wins the
Before I
league?
say anything, what I do?
Stricto, you know what? You know what? Someone
my
said in
hand
my
up.
stream today, Stricto, you know what someone said today? Even if Arteta wins the Premier League or the Champions League, I'd say thanks and I still want him to go. I said, can
For
you
what?
explain that? I said, can you explain
The
that to me?
agenda's too
Explain
strong.
it to me.
I've
And they
heard
couldn't explain it.
Man
It's
blame
crazy.
Arteta for all the injuries that we had last season and earlier this season. Liverpool have had
Yeah, it's mad.
injuries. Chelsea have had injuries. Newcastle have had injuries. Tottenham have had injuries. I've heard no one blame it on their manager. Right? But these bottom gooners, and I'll say it, I don't give a fuck. These bottom gooners, Arteta this, they always find an agenda to talk about Arteta. And then they will say, man like me or man like Igal is an Arteta sexual. But they talk about Arteta more than we do.
Let's clarify something though, because you guys, it's nice we won. I've enjoyed it. I've spent loads of money watching it. But let's segue back into
45 quid them tickets.
Let's segue back 2 weeks ago and hear me out. Everyone to a man, regardless of their Arteta out, is more or fans of Mikel and believers of Mikel. You had conditions this season that if he didn't win, he's probably going to have to go. So all of a sudden, we've won a few games. You kept your support, but you took away your conditions. It's funny. It's funny what a 3 weeks does, and I know the people who are Mikel Arteta supporters who had conditions on here, but all of a sudden, they're as pure as the driven snow. It's only the bottom gooners. The term top gooner actually wasn't for any of you guys, by the way. The top gooners, like where I was talking about, me and Lee were talking about, was the guys that basically selected YouTubers and selected content creators were selected to go on Sky Talk Sport to talk about the club, where they bypassed the facts, i.e. we didn't win anything, and they bypassed the facts that when it came to the pressure championship rounds, we were found wanted. That's what I selected. I never selected you, Stricto, or you, Igel, as top gooners. I haven't got a problem with anything you guys got to say. What I have a problem with is how Sky Sports and all the media, mainstream media, trying to select certain fans who seem to have the same opinion. They don't select a fan who thinks, you know what, we're a bit impatient. We want to set yesterday. It's always, look how far we've come. We were shit before, and Unai Emery's like the Antichrist, and Arsenal didn't even have a training ground. It was so bad, and the Mikel Arteta with his magic wand got us playing really good football, and now we're respected. They're the fans I beef with, not you guys. So top gooners for me are the carefully selected people who go on mainstream, and you lot all know they are. They say the same verbatim. That's my bit.
You know what, Ken?
Yeah, but let me ask a question here. Let me ask you one question. Yeah. So Stricto and Aaron, do you still think Arteta can win the league? Do you still think Arteta can win the league or not?
You know what I said earlier? I said everything's in place for success. Everything's in place.
But don't you think now that we're top, we're 3 points clear, everyone should be behind Arteta right now? If we were 6 points off it, but there are some fans that are still Arteta out while we're top.
You don't pay
still want to change Arteta.
Season ticket. It's up to the individual. They're going to do what they have to do. At the end of the day, the only thing we've got in common, all of us, and it's not a diss. The only thing I've got in common with you guys is that if I go to Wembley for a cup final, we sit at the same end. We support the club in our own way. Sometimes we're impatient. Some fans are patient. That's who we are. That's why you have this debate. You can't have everyone, buttering their bread the same way. You can't have everyone having their toast with jam. Some people want it with Nutella. We're all different fans. We all got our patient levels, but we all support the same side. I'm not as patient as you are, Stricto. I'm not as patient as you are, Gel.
No.
At the end of the day, one thing I've got in common with you guys today is that I've never seen a team this good not win anything. And if we don't win anything, it'd be a shame. It'd be a shock to me.
My thing is.
However, I'm going to be cautious. Not because I've got an agenda against Mikel. It's because I've been there before. I had my hopes raised in 22-23 when we were playing beautiful stuff. I actually thought we'd go and win it, and then my basically my trans got pulled down in front of me. And then 23, 24, where I think this is the best Arteta side I've ever seen, we basically had a Benny Hill moment against Aston Villa. So I'm going to be cautious. You guys crack ahead, say we're going to win the league. Good luck to you. Respect to you. But
I'm going to stay cautious.
One game at a time. That's what I'm doing.
I'm always I'm one of the first person to bring up fans, but I do feel like depending on what the results are, there is agendas that flow either way, and people are going to have their opinions no matter what. So you can't change people's opinions. All we can do is hope that the team does well, and we're all going to be on the same side if we do. But hey, people call me delusional at the beginning of the season for saying certain things that now they all agree with. That's my main issue. When it comes to criticizing somebody for
it has to be proven to be true, though, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Let me give you an example. Going into the season, we all said I said we have the best defense, and I said we have the best squad depth in the league. People said you're crazy. Liverpool just signed Isak, Florian Wirtz. I'm like, it doesn't matter. We have the more balanced squad.
Yeah, that's true.
Now it's coming to everyone sees. A couple games in.
Let's be real. Everyone said Liverpool was going to win the league. If they get Isak,
but the narrative. The league's not over yet, though.
Also,
but everyone's changed their tune. Most people are saying Arsenal are going to win.
When it comes to our attack, everyone's still critical about our attack, but they're forgetting the fact that our defense is so good. We don't need to score 2 to 3 goals every game.
Trossard said it in his interview after.
But the game. What I'm saying is, we're only 3. It's not like we're 15 points clear. We're 3.
No, but we can still have conversations about certain things, regardless of how many games we've had. When you talk about defensive performances, offensive performances, when you talk about all-around squad depth, when you talk about dealing with injuries, capability to solve problems, we've been fighting fires all year. We haven't seen Madueke in a while. We haven't seen Havertz all season. We haven't seen Odegaard in a bit. And it's seamless. We're still winning games quite convincingly too. We're having some of our best performances with key players out. And it just seems like an afterthought now. And where in the past, these players being missing would be the excuse or the reason why we wouldn't win. So I'm not sitting here saying, "Oh, the league's over, we won the league," but we can still sit here and have an objective conversation about the improvements we've made and highlight that and
but
say,
no one
don't
want to hear that. That conversation, no one wants to hear that because it's
why talk about Arsenal in October? If all you guys only want to sit here and wait until May, why sit on a YouTube channel and talk? Why watch?
100%, Igal. I agree with you there. It's like it's got to the point where, sorry, Kenny, to go back to your point about the top and the bottom gooner, yeah. I didn't even know where that phrase came from. By the time it reached me,
it was me who came up with it.
Okay.
It wasn't that. It was to do with the. It seems like we always had the same people who represent Arsenal.
The mainstream.
Got the channel you're on a few years back. It's like Lyle was the only Arsenal channel you're on. Saying a fact. I'm not digging them up. I'm just saying a fact. It seems like whenever I watch a program like The Overlap, and I watch something on TalkSport, if I come across it, or Sky Sports, it's always someone who basically, and I'm not dig, and it's just a fact, who are basically the equivalent of an 8-year-old who goes, "We all agree, Arsenal magic, Liverpool were tragic." That's all I see. I don't see any other view. All it is, Mikel's this, he's that. No, I don't see anything else. And that's and as far as I'm concerned, that's hand-picked gooners. And that is, and again,
so your problem is the people who make it on these shows.
I'm going back 6 years since Mikel's been here.
One second, Dan Potts gets picked for BT Sport. Dan Pot gets picked.
It's the same hand-picked gooners. That's what I call top gooners.
No. 1 second, you got somebody on the panel who gets on BT Sport on a regular basis. Is Dan Potts a hand-picked gooner?
Is Dan Potts a hand-picked gooner? Dan, I've watched some of your stuff. Dan. I have to be honest.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like you're stumbling there. It's a bit stumbling.
I'm going to say it. I know it works. If someone was, say it was someone like me and Lee, they wouldn't have us on because we're too controversial.
No, but why do they have Dan on? Does he not agree with you?
It's a bit
when Dan speaks, Dan is very positive when he goes on there.
Oh, so you're calling him a handpicked gooner. Dan, you hear that?
Well, I told him that to his face.
Hey, a bit stumbly, Kenny, a bit stumbly.
Have I not said that to you, his face?
Yeah, no, Kenny has been. Kenny's always real, but
I always say
I get,
it.
I get what you're both.
Yeah.
I get what you're both saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're both saying, though. To be fair, because I feel like when you get into a scenario where you go onto the mainstream, you're not in front of a YouTube camera, are you? Yeah, if you go on there and start screaming and ranting and raving and saying "fuck this, fuck that," they're gonna go get this guy away. Jesus. So you've got to go on there and be professional. So I don't think I go on there going, "We've won the league, everyone pack in." I've never done that. But at the same time, I'm not going to go on there and start gritting my teeth and start ranting and raving. If I don't really anyway, I'm pretty calm. They wouldn't have people on like that.
To be fair, a lot of the mainstream, this is what you got. Also, another consideration, bro. We are on YouTube. We swear all we like. We can have mad, mad sort of like analogies and whatever. On the mainstream, they have to cater and have to be responsible on behalf of Ofcom, right? So there's certain things I know they would never bring me on there, and if I was on there, they probably wouldn't show half the stuff I would say because I would do you know what I'm saying? I have to think about what I need to say and how it comes across. But when I'm on here,
the difference though, it's something different. You're not. It's not the problem. What they seem to do, they seem to have fans on who are 150% behind the manager, and they say nice things about the manager. Now, I'm not saying that every Arsenal fan or every Man United fan should go up and say, "All right, Arteta, now I want him gone," or Amarin's not up to it. What I'm trying to say is that the TV companies, especially the mainstream companies, they've always got one eye open and said, "Look, we need to cooperate with our football club." I don't think a football club will want someone like myself, Lee, Aaron, Jays, or let's just say they wouldn't want the Rat Army on there, would they?
No, 1 second. Let me stop right there.
No, let me finish. Let me finish because you've done a lot of talking. I'm just saying that this is how TV works. I've never seen a fan who's gone on there with an alternative view. It's always the same fans that seem to be praising the manager. And at the moment, at this moment of time, it's fine. We're doing well. But last season, when there were problems, I didn't see any fan pointing out any. Do
you think that the team?
Let me
help the team.
No, 1 second.
Any fan being allowed on the mainstream?
Would it help the team?
Have you seen any? Have you seen any? Tell me if you've seen any.
1 second, guys. Kenny, is this basically you are ignoring some of the negative fans and you're
talking about the mainstream
because it might trigger you? Because if I'm not mistaken, they went to the for the All or Nothing documentary. They went outside the stadium and you had multiple people saying Arteta's got to go. There was only one person who stood up and said
All or Nothing documentary
in the All or Nothing documentary and said that we need to give the manager more time.
But again, I'm talking like Sky Sports, Talk Sport.
Okay, I'm talking about mainstream media. You're talking about mainstream media. You're talking about something related to the club. All or Nothing documentary.
What about Thierry Henry? Because Thierry Henry's been pretty critical about that. On the overlap.
I'm not talking about Thierry Henry.
You are picking and choosing which platform you're speaking about. If you want to talk about Sky Sports, if you want to talk about Talk Sports, if you want to talk about all these places, guess what? A large majority of the fan base are behind the manager. So when they pick fans, maybe 3 out of every 4 is going to agree with the manager. Maybe because there's a rare bunch.
It's always the same fans behind the manager. It's never anyone who's got good questions.
I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying because you're speaking while I'm speaking. You want to go ahead?
I'm just saying, Miguel, you're wrong. You say that on Talk. Show me evidence where on Talk Sport, Sky Sports News, or BBC, where there's been a fan that has
Talk Sport.
Mikel Arteta. Show me some evidence.
Okay.
Show me evidence. All right. I'm going to rephrase it. Can I rephrase it for 1 minute? Show me evidence.
You got cut out. You just caught yourself out.
Evidence of a content creator that is critical of Mikel Arteta that gets on Sky Sports. Show me some evidence, please.
First things first. You changed.
Why does this even matter anyway?
He just said Talk Sport. Talk Sport on a regular basis have fans on who are Arteta out.
Calm down, some avenue, innit?
After every loss, after every defeat, there's people who call in and say Arteta out on a regular basis. As for Sky Sports, Kenny, let's be honest. I don't know exactly where they pick the people from to come on Sky Sports, but majority of the time, yes, there is more positive fans on Sky Sports. But TalkSport, you definitely see negative fans coming on saying I'm Arteta out after a bad result, or after a draw, or after something else. I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed because just because you don't see specific negative fans.
You're talking about phone-ins. I'm talking about content creators. You weren't.
How many
phone-ins are content creators? Last time I checked, you call into TalkSport. Last time I checked, you call into TalkSport.
I don't know. I don't see content creators.
It's the same thing.
Christian goes on. He's a content creator, isn't he?
Who's Christian?
What's wrong with Christian? He's giving his opinion.
I never said anything wrong with Christian. Did you hear me criticize Christian? What I said.
What
I said is that the content creators that are handpicked by the mainstream media are fans that tend to be behind the manager. I never said.
But why does that matter? Why does that matter?
Well, because the reason it doesn't give a balanced view of the club, especially when things weren't going well in the last few years. It's basically controlling the narrative. And that's always been my problem. That's why I used to. That's why.
You know what though? It's honestly in YouTube. It's much more. People are more Arteta out and negative because when I go to the pub, me and my mate Dan, we went around and interviewed because we didn't. I said to him, you know what? It's probably 60-40, 60 backing Arteta more positive and negative. But when we were at the pub though, we asked everyone, and honestly, probably out of 100 people, 98 of them all said they wanted Arteta in, and they were all really positive that we could win the league. There's only 2 of them.
You went to the wrong pub then.
Maybe so. It was the Gunners pub. That's where we were. And literally, listen. Then my mates all turned up, and I went, look, tell my mate Dan, meet these lot, and they're all Arteta out. The group that come in, 10 of them, but majority of the people are behind Arteta and Arsenal and their club. And that's so maybe that's why it is. You know
what it is. I don't think this is an Arsenal thing. Everyone seems to think this is the Arsenal fan base, and it's hilarious. This happens everywhere. People want Arnie Slot out. People want Thomas Frank out. There's 8 games in, and people are saying they're gone absolutely mad. It happens in every fan base. I think what it is, right, to sum up quickly, and we'll move. I think that when we win, there's a lot of the fans that will go, "See, told you." When we lose, there's a lot of fans that go, "See, told you." That's just the way it is, man. And we've got to wait till May to see what happens. Every May in the last 5 years, there's a certain side of the fence that don't think he's the right guy that have gone, "Told you so." And there's the other side of the fence that are going, "You're right, but you're going to be wrong next year." And then they'll go, "You're right, but you're going to be wrong next year." And we're in another scenario where hopefully we're all wrong. The guys that don't believe that he's going to get it across the line. And then those people that do believe he's going to get it along the line, they're going to go, "We're here. We're celebrating."
I think the main issue is that there might be extremes on either end. You know, there might be extreme Arteta in, there might be extreme Arteta's out. And
there's people that hate him. There's people that hate him.
Thank you. And there's also
proper pure hate.
That's what I'm saying. There's an extreme,
calling him arrogant. They're saying it with pure hate in the heart. My question to them is, could you one day love Arteta like you love Arsenal?
No, they won't. No, because
if he goes and wins back-to-back Premier League titles and wins the Champions League, are you going to have a picture of him in your room? Like you would Arsene Wenger.
You've got man
and the camera up to yours.
There's man who hate him.
I got
hate
Saka
him
there.
so much. Yeah,
there's
man who love him so much. There's man that would. Do you know what I'm saying? I've had a man tell me. Yeah, I had a man tell me they would off Arteta. Yeah, I've had a man tell me they would off Arteta.
But that's just crazy.
I've also had a man tell me they would name their child Mikel if Arteta won us the league. Do you get what I'm saying? There's extremists on either end. I think my issue is people who want to die on their agenda. I can't get it, and then it just does my nut.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
I heard so many people talking about he's killed Martinelli. Martinelli's he's stifled his creativity. Martinelli starts scoring, starts assisting. Don't hear shit.
But Stricter, you've got to balance
and his
that
best
out
ever season.
Years, and he's been good for 5 or 6
games. Had his best ever season under Arteta.
This is the problem that we're having now.
He said he was shit.
Martinelli,
for 5 games.
Yeah, but Martinelli's come off the bench. He's been great in the Champions League. He's done well this season. He's having a good season on his standards, yeah. But then you've gone on exactly to prove our own point about the league, about everything. He's had 5 good games and this little small bite size. You know, like, fucking Martinelli, you're wanking him off left, right, and centre. He's been shit for 2 years. And we do the same thing about the year.
I haven't heard not one person say...
Look, you just go off. You pre-spunk too quick, bro.
The point is that none of those guys who've said Mikel has killed Martinelli's creativity, I've not heard one of those guys remotely even come and say, do you know what? Actually, maybe he hasn't killed it. Maybe he was off form. But the agenda is so real against the manager is that when something bad is happening, it's the manager. When something's good is happening, it's the player.
That's football, though. That's football strict, though, isn't it?
No. I'm football. I'm specifically putting it in here. Like
it's not personal, though. It's not personal, though. It's not personal.
It is personal with some people, though. Some people have a personal agenda against Arteta.
I think it's personal, yeah. And I think, obviously, for the people that Arteta out, I think they do a bit too much. But unfortunately, we actually see us who they class as top gooners. For us to be proved right, we actually slightly have to win the league first. We can't really.
But you know what you said earlier, spot on. This team now is growing together. They were kids. We had the young average age of 23 or 24. The Gabriel Jesus season when we fell away and we was 8 points clear and all of that. They were kids. Gabriel's 27 now. He's a man. He's in his prime. He's the oldest player in that squad, really, isn't he?
That team was still good enough to win the league in 23. The team was still good enough in 23, 24.
I don't think it's good enough, man. That team was not good enough. We had Rob Holding when Rob Holding was playing. Where is he playing now? He was starting in our 11. That team was not good enough.
I hear you saying, but don't you think if the opportunity arises and you're in it to win it, you've got to see it through?
Yeah,
that's not. By the way, I've got something important to say to you.
That season, we had to play City twice at the back end of the season. The Queen died, and we missed the chance to play them. So we still have to play them twice.
Yeah, I've got something.
Why are we doing?
We went on to win the treble the year.
I've got something important to say. I want to, Gal, it's really important. I've really got something to say. You know, when you talk about naming like people after managers. Well, by the way, if anyone's interested, my dog's called Theo.
Good boy.
Look, I'll be so real, right? There's a lot of people that do not want to be proved wrong. I genuinely do believe that, right? I do believe that for both sides.
Do you believe that, Dan, though?
No, I do. I do think there's some out there.
No, but you see, Dan, I could know that. I know that you're not like that because I see your match reactions and you say it how it is.
No, but
it's okay to change. It's okay to change. You can change your mind.
I agree.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But Dan,
if we finish 10 points off the top this season, then I'm gonna have to say sorry. Thanks.
There's a stark difference between the two sides. If I get proven wrong, Arsenal obviously is losing, and I'm gonna be upset. If the other side gets proven wrong, they're gloating that they were right about the manager not being good enough.
It's something different this season. It's something different.
Someone said to me, we war at the end, and I thought, what war? We're all Arsenal fans.
Yeah, there ain't a war. I don't get this war. Oh, we were right, you were wrong. You go support Tottenham crap. I hate all that, right?
Madness.
There's a war. There's a war.
But the thing is, you said it, Gal. You said, you will be gloating if he gets sacked. But you'll be gloating to everyone if we win the league, right? I will be.
You should be happy if we win the league.
Yeah, of course, I'm happy with the league.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But look, if Arteta wins us the first Premier League in 21 years, we should be all praising him. And if he wins us our first Champions League, wow.
One side gets proven right if we don't do well. The other side gets proven right if we do well.
Yeah, but we obviously the same side.
Everyone wants Arsenal to do well. But to me, it seems like in order for some people to get proven right, they almost wish for the team to not do well.
Why? That's wrong.
That's ridiculous.
You can't support the
I've heard people say they want Arsenal to lose every game. I've heard people to say they don't want. I've heard people say they don't want Arteta to get any more money before this transfer window started. I've heard people say they don't want Arteta to get another penny.
Why do they say that? Why do they say that though? Why do they say that?
You're chopping and changing over your own context as a gal to suit your own little narrative going on. Brother. Sure. Massively. You are chopping and changing all over the place.
Bro. The reality is, if Arsenal do well, everyone should be happy. But there is a set of people. If Arsenal don't do
everyone
well,
is happy.
There is a set of
the first 20 minutes of the stream when we all had a chat, did anyone say anything negative? No, because we were saying how good it was.
There is some truth behind. If Arsenal Arsenal don't do well, there is a set of fans that are going to be like, I was proven right. This team not good enough.
Name shame.
100%.
Yeah, you got to name
There
names.
is a set of fans that will gloat up and
But are they Twitter fans?
Up on the back.
Yeah, I was
for
just
being
going to say,
proven right.
yeah.
But how can an Arsenal fan?
These are Twitter trolls, right? These are Twitter
Yeah.
trolls that don't even have a
Just
name.
gonna say.
Just have the
Hey,
letter
you
D
guys,
and a picture
you
of
guys
Saka.
surround
Right,
yourself
I
with
think-
sometimes you don't realize it.
If we win the league, then will the Arteta rats turn around and say, I got it wrong, Arteta is the man? That's the question.
I hope so.
won't.
I hope
They
so.
won't.
I
They'll
don't
say
think
he's
they
been
will.
given this
I'm
much
gonna
money.
say, all right, I might as well answer that. Let me tell you something, Dan. You know what I'm going to do when we win the league? I'm going to go the next day to the town hall and get my chest out and enjoy myself when Arsenal win the league. Because at the end of the day, this is me. As far as I'm concerned, the biggest star at Arsenal? It's Arsenal. Not Mikel, not a player, not any you lot. The club is the star. So all this stuff about, I couldn't care less. I want to win desperately. And this season,
Exactly what I said yesterday.
I'll repeat what I said.
Yeah, but how do you see Arsene Wenger, though? You've obviously got like an affection for Arsene Wenger.
No, I don't actually. But this is not an Arsene Wenger show. We'll talk about it in private, me and you, later, if I see you at a game. But let's talk about our point. The point is, I wouldn't be spending thousands of pounds.
But Chelsea fans all love Jose Mourinho, right? Because he won them league titles. So I'm saying, surely...
but I wouldn't be paying thousands of pounds a year if I wanted Arsenal to lose. What's the point of me going to a match?
No, I'm sure you definitely don't want Arsenal to lose. But I'm saying, like, it seems like fans can't say it, that they would be, they would be very happy with Mikel Arteta if he wins the Premier League, that he would show that he's an elite manager.
Surely
Thank you, Stricto. It would change, but he had to spend $1 billion, but he doesn't do it in the right style playing.
It's obvious the narrative would change, bro. Like, listen, just call it how it is, bro. Like, there's a lot of men who sit on an agenda. Like, like I said, man, are so scared to get called flip-flop. That is the number one fear of most people on panel shows.
What is a flip-flop?
Flip-flop.
What's a flip-flop? What's a flip-flop? Are you a flip-flop? Are you a flip-flop?
I'm a flip-flop. Yeah, I've been called a flip-flop.
You flip-floppy gal?
I'm a flip-flop. I'm a flip-flop. Because the ability to change my mind based on evidence is a flip-flop.
Yeah, but
and this is why certain people are willing to die on a hill. They don't want to see the change because the idea of like, someone's going to think, I'm changing my mind. So they rather stick to their so-called principle. That's what I'm saying. That this time the Arsenal is doing well. I'm not surprised that panel's getting on and but soon as the moment the shit flips, it's going to be this why I don't trust this manager. Why we allowed him to spend a penny.
But why would people be saying that, though, Stricto? Sorry to cut you there, bro. But why would people be saying that? Because bottling the top four, bottling the title race, and then as the Hunters not being able to catch the pack against Man City and then fucking it up last year. That's why. And Positive Dan said this thing, and he was like, and he said this early on in the show. It's 8 games in. We're the top league. I can't understand why Mikel Arteta out. You've used an 8-game bite size and completely negated the 200 or so previous games in which he hadn't delivered anything.
In which he has the best record.
And that's the problem. Records and how many trophies? None.
But look, right now,
you go back to your little juicy records.
Right now, you would swap.
Our records around the Emirates Stadium. Our records around the Emirates Stadium.
Would you swap Arteta now?
No, they're not.
Would you swap him? Would you swap Arteta for another manager right now?
Around.
You're making my point. You're not Arteta around. Right now,
would you swap Arteta?
Hold on.
That's what I want to know.
Yes.
One at a time.
You would swap him.
Hold on, Dan.
When he's built a team in his image over 5 years, he's got top of the league. We conceded 3 goals in 12 games, but you would want to sack him right now. That's crazy to me.
We're 8 games in. We are 8 games in. This is a silly question because we all know he's not getting sacked now. So it's a massive overinflated hypothetical argument. Like for me to go, I'd sack him now. Yeah, I would.
The reason why
everyone in their fucking nan knows it's not exactly right, but he's had 8 games. We've had 8 games where we're 8 points off winning the top of the league and he's fucked it up. We've seen that. We've been 5 games and been ahead of Spurs for 4th and he's fucked that up. We are not emotionally charged like you have in the hope. This is what he's been building for 7 seasons now. What we're saying is, instead of the 8 games in, everything's going rosy and it's all great. We've got 6 years of PTSD, bro. We've got 6 years of evidence.
It would be the most stupid decision to change Arteta now.
14, 15 seconds. Sorry, Stricto. 17, 18 seconds. Sorry, bro.
You know what this is? People are protecting themselves from a possible failure. That's what it is. Aaron, you're one individual who when I see how you speak about Arsenal, it's almost as if you want to protect yourself from having too much faith in this team or too much faith in this manager.
I actually disagree. Where
I personally have full faith in the team, and if I do get hurt, I get hurt. Right now, I'm willing to put myself out there.
Bruv, I've been hurt for 21 years, bruv. Hurt for 21 years.
Hey, that might be true, but at the same time,
it is fucking true. I deal with it
differently than you do.
Of course, and that's why we're different.
Let me just ask you this then, Agal. Do you really think that me, Aaron, and Kenny will be like, shit, we won the league, we're wrong, I'm going off YouTube?
No, but I do think we drop 1 point, you guys are going to lose your shit. But if we win that same game 3-0, you're going to say, calm down, it's only October.
What's wrong with having standards?
No, that's not standards. That's just being reactionary.
No, it's not. It's
reactionary for both ways.
Because the same person who's going to tell us chill out, it's October, is going to lose their shit if we drop 1 point in October.
Surely, all the times you've watched.
If we draw on Sunday, people are going to go mad. Let's be real.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Yeah, and if we beat Crystal Palace 4-0, and if we beat Crystal Palace
4-0, are you mad? Are you mad? They will be going mad.
Guys are going to say, "Where's the trophy?"
Arsenal have to win every game. That's
yeah. I don't think they will.
It's been like that for the last since I've been a kid.
No, but I do think there has to be a level. There has to be a level-headedness across the board.
But no team wins every game, do they?
You want to win every game. That's the game of football, to win every game.
No. But Ken, in one breath, there's people trying to tell me, calm down. But after every poor performance, they want to lose their head. But after every good performance,
that's a football fan. That's a football fan.
Yeah, you're describing a football fan.
No, it's not.
That's a football fan. You just described a football fan.
There's people on this.
No, that's you.
There's people on this. It's not a football fan. You can't butter your bread both sides.
This is the double standard where I'm getting caught getting.
I'm going to watch you. I'm going to watch you do watch along. I'm going to watch everything you do during the game, in game. I'm going to write everything down. I swear, we're not calm during the watch along. I'm going to watch your watch along, and I'm going to write everything down you said and done.
Bro, don't use me as a
way you were calm during the last game.
Listen,
do you think though?
At the end of the day, yeah. All right, Dan. Back to your question. Yeah, I don't think you're particularly like gonna be vexed if Arsenal. You're gonna be vexed if Arsenal win the league. No, I actually think you're quite flexible. Lee Gunnar is not flexible at all. I'll say his name. Don't give a shit. He's not flexible.
I think Gunnar,
we had a conversation in here the other day where he was telling me, just to make his point right, that we didn't sign Kieran Tierney injured. Now, Dan, this is why I disagree. You know we signed Kieran Tierney injured, Dan, and you didn't say nothing, Dan.
No. I researched it though.
It was on war.
I researched it. I didn't actually know. I didn't actually genuinely know. So I researched it and it said there weren't.
And then he went on to say, you know what?
Yeah, the hernia or something.
Kieran Tierney is not injury prone. Everybody and their mother knows Kieran Tierney is injury prone. Everybody knows. That's probably one of the reasons why he never really succeeded or pushed on at Arsenal. He's injury. We fucking signed a man injured. He had to get surgery. We signed him in August. He didn't make his debut at Arsenal until September. Late September. He had to go and he had to go and get a surgery. He had to go and get surgery, hernia. But again, the point was he was trying to stand on the hill of how much he dislikes Arteta and what Arteta's doing, because he's trying to make his point and he's willing to die on that hill. You see stuff like that. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Of course they are. So am I. So is he. Whatever. But it gets to the point where put your hand up and say a lot of my opinions are agenda driven. Simple.
Listen, Rob. I'll only speak for myself on that. I don't give a absolute rat's ass who's in charge of Arsenal Football Club or the 11 players that play in it, as long as they lift that Premier League title. I couldn't give a toss what the back of their shirt says or the manager's name. I just want Arsenal to win titles. If it's going to be Mikel Arteta this year, I'll be happy as anyone. If it ain't, go get someone else.
I think that's the thing, Aaron. He's the man in possession. And I think the thing with Arsenal, mate, Dave, you should embrace, whoever is in charge of Arsenal, embrace the pressure. We're the third biggest club in the country. Of course, we have to win. I'm entitled, Dan, positive Dan, strict time. I don't care. I'm not a Portsmouth fan. I don't support Plymouth. I don't support... Sorry, Crystal Palace fans. You won the FA Cup. Well done. Whoa! But I demand success.
Yeah,
Is there anything wrong with me demanding
no, ain't
success?
nothing wrong
We
with
have
that.
to win the Champions League,
What
but
makes
we've
you
never
think
won
I
it in our
don't
history.
demand success?
I'm not saying you don't, but
What
I'm
makes
just
you
talking
not
about
think when
my
Arsenal
experience.
lose?
I'm just
You
talking
not think when
about my
Arsenal lose, I'm
experience.
fucking happy about it, or like I
No,
don't.
of course you're not.
That's the bit that confuses me.
I'm explaining
Like
my
Kenny, you
situation.
man draw this thing, yeah. Like say, if Arsenal win, everyone's happy, but if Arsenal lose, man like me is happy. And
No,
I'm
you're
happy
not happy.
with Arsenal
You're not happy.
not winning titles.
But
I'm
you
happy.
go back. What I'm trying to say, I'm not asking you to, have anarchy and kick the cat and everything. What basically the situation is that I got no problem holding the manager to the account because simple reason he's paid a lot of money because whether we like it or not, after the club, the two most important people at a football club, and the only people I care about is the team and the manager. If we lose games, of course I'm going to say, well, I'm going to look at the manager. It's natural. It's not personal. Believe it or not, Mick Arteta said hello to me. All right, and we had a chat. I said, I'm going to admit it because it's my 50th birthday, and I decided to stay in the International Hotel, and I was told that there was a delegation of people at the club at the International Hotel. I didn't know where they were. I wasn't allowed to know. Then all of a sudden, I went to the hotel gym. I went for a little bit of a run. Came back, and one guy said, "Can you sign my autograph?" I said, "What for?" He says, you work with Arsenal." I said, "What do you mean you want my autograph?" I said, "Why is all this kerfuffle around?" He said, "Oh, Arsenal was staying in the hotel that you stayed in." And all of a sudden, they all came out. Aaron Ramsdale came out. Lacazette, I said a few things in French, and I thought, right, I didn't think, right, this is the manager that I've been slagging off. I just said something in Spanish to him, and he said hello and gave me the thumbs up. So he's been nice to me. So it can't be personal with me. All I want to do is win. I'm so desperate for this league championship to the extent that I couldn't care less about the Champions League. I think I would prefer us to win the title because the title basically signifies you're the best. There's no arguments.
Yeah.
You've done it over
Agreed.
38 games, and you've shown that you've got the best defence, you've got the best midfield, and you've basically dealt with adversity, like Fulham away, where they put us under the cosh. We came through it. We had a gritty win. You had a mixture of panache, grit, determination, and even set pieces. That's
and Arteta's instilled all of that in this team because we didn't have it before Arteta came along, did we?
Well, the proof of the pudding is if he lifts me the title. He did bring me success.
Yeah.
And that's the old age thing that we keep coming back to. You're all dealing with ifs. We're dealing with facts.
Aren't you supposed
what
to
happens?
prove
You know
people
what I mean?
wrong, though? Like, isn't that what it's about? Isn't it about proving people wrong? And
how long do you get to prove people wrong? Though? That's also a factor in. Do you know what I mean? Forever.
But in your mind, he's had enough time, right? So to you, you would have sacked him in the summer. Now, if he wins this year, that means that you were wrong to have sacked him in the summer, right?
Absolutely. For the 25-26 season, I will happily go, do you know what? Got it wrong there. I've always said that. Exactly. At the start of the season, I'll say it at the start of every season. For the 25-26 season, I'll go, yeah. What gets me up a little bit is when people go, "Oh, so you'll say sorry." I'll be like, "Well, no. If he wins the league this year, I can't say, oh, sorry, I was wrong about Mikel Arteta since 2019. That is bullshit."
No.
I was wrong about Mikel Arteta for 25-26.
Why do people want you to say sorry? This is what I don't get.
I don't get it, bro.
Why do fans say, did you sleep well? No, I didn't sleep very well because Arsenal won the league, and I haven't heard a sorry from Aaron yet. I'm not going to have sleep tonight. Well, who needs a sorry, man? We'll just go and enjoy the bloody league, man. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't get this.
Yeah, but do you know why?
I'll be having my Stella belly out with my top off.
Do you know why that's a problem?
Don't worry about that. We win the league.
The only reason why it's a problem is because when we do lose, we don't want to hear it from the other side either. Do you get it? That's the only time it becomes a problem. Yeah. When we do lose, all we ever hear is, "I told you Arteta wasn't good enough. I told you that this wasn't good enough. I told you that guy's not world class. I told you that." That's what we do here on the other side. But really, truly, for me personally, the only way that anyone can prove anything wrong is to show it up with medals and trophies. So when that does happen, that is when I feel like everyone can have their chest and say, "I told you so. I told you so." That's when it comes out. I think it's too early.
I'm gonna be unbearable to you. I'm gonna tell you lot now. I'm going to be unbearable to you lot.
We know that.
I think it's too early.
We know you are.
There's nothing, bro. I cannot wait for the day I can turn around.
Hey,
and do my I told you so.
Yeah, but everyone wins if
I
you
tell
do
you, I
that.
told
If
you
you
so.
do that, when you do that, we've won the league.
definitely
We all
gonna hear my I
celebrate.
told you.
No. People can't go and celebrate Arteta. They can celebrate
Why
Arsenal
not?
winning, but
I'm
certain guys
supporting
can't
Arsenal
celebrate
winning. I'm an
Arteta.
Arsenal fan. I've got a season ticket. I'm allowed to be part of this.
I know, but
You're strict. Strict. Let me ask you this, though. Stricto, let me ask you this. Have
Yeah.
you come out and apologized to Arteta because you wanted him out a couple of seasons ago? Did you say sorry now you want him in, or did you just
You know
crack
why?
on?
You know why?
Can we make a segment
My-
here? Now
my-
you've got your chance to a
You got a chance
full-on
to say
apology.
sorry and
Yeah.
apologize if you want
that's-
that.
I
I'm
strict
glad you brought it up.
apologize to.
I'm glad you brought up, and you just made the point of how flexible I am in opinion, how my opinion can shift. I'm glad you made that, because now the biggest apology I have is to get behind him. I don't need to come out and say, "Oh, Mikel, I'm so." I got behind him. Pause.
yeah, pause that. But yeah, no.
Do you know what I'm saying? I get slated. I get slated for my support for Mikel. I get pelters. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't need to come out and say I'm sorry. You lot see where my position is with Arteta. Pause again.
There'll be documentaries about Mikel Arteta. Now he transformed Arsenal.
There already has been one, man.
and the book
Yeah.
that was 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
only if he wins, though. Only if
All
he
or
wins.
nothing. It was
Yeah,
all or
listen.
nothing, and we ended it with nothing, man. I was
He has
hoping
to
to win
win.
it all.
He has to
But
win to have
when I-
documentaries.
when I
This
look-
team could go
when I
down
look-
as the greatest Arsenal team in history. It
You
could.
reckon?
No, not at all. The greatest
It could
Arsenal
be.
team. No
It
team.
could.
No team, in my opinion, will be better than Arsene Wenger's 2002 team or George
Arsenal,
Graham's
what?
2001
Like
team.
Invincibles, bro.
If he
Nah, the
goes
02
and wins,
team.
if he wins 3 titles in a row and a Champions League in there, we
Well,
never.
that's a dream, isn't it? That's a dream for every Arsenal player.
Herbert
No
Chapman
Arsenal
was the
manager
only one
in
to win
the
back-to-back
modern era has
titles.
retained the league.
So Arsene Wenger didn't even win back-to-back titles.
Neither did George Graham.
Exactly. Herbert Chapman is the only one I know did it in the 30s.
Well, yeah, George
Well, so
Graham.
if we win back-to-back titles, you think it's the greatest team of Arsenal generation?
No, but if we put a Champions League in there as well, it would have to be, wouldn't it?
Any
You mean on
Champions League
paper? You mean on paper?
Any
Well, on
Champions
paper,
League
yeah, of course.
is the
Okay.
fucking-
You mean?
No,
you mean?
I think.
Well, maybe not player for player and all of that because it's different.
Yeah.
areas and stuff
I
like
get what
that,
you're saying.
but yeah,
I get what you're saying.
D,
The
can I
hot-
just quickly
you know
come back
the
to
most
oh,
important
sorry,
thing
Ken, go on,
is-
mate.
The most important thing is for us to at the end of the day, we're going to be revisiting it, having shows like this every game because at the end of the day, it's a game to game basis. Where we like it or not, because every game's different.
Oh,
The league-
it's a question, though.
there's only
What
lot-
if we're 15 points clear in
That's
February?
a dream. That's a dream. That's a
So
dream.
then what? Everyone's just going to be on the same level then. No,
Don't you think it'd be look? Don't you think I look like a pork chop if I'm still moaning with 12 points ahead? I look a right pork chop, wouldn't I? I'll be a pork chop.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not going to happen. But that's the dream, and it is a possibility. But the thing is, that's the way the game is at the moment. It's a week to week basis. The good thing about it, right, is though you guys are critical of me, but isn't it great that we support a club like Arsenal that a draw is a crisis or a losing is a crisis? That shows how standards should be, in my opinion. I don't see, for instance, I love a debate. I don't see a reason why we should have an argument. I love an argument about football. Why should
Every fan is disappointed when you don't win. It's the
Yeah.
meltdown that comes with it. Like
That's
I'm saying,
just-
if we
that's
draw
football.
with Palace, there will be meltdowns.
Yeah, but that's
for
football fans, isn't it?
100%.
But the thing about it is that you talk about meltdowns. You've got to remember, everyone thinks that everyone thinks that,
And it will
social
all be
media
blamed on Mikel
represents
Arteta,
Arsenal.
by the way.
Yeah, but social media don't represent Arsenal. You know, all these social media accounts, all YouTube accounts, you only count for about 1% of our fan base. The other 99% haven't heard of any of us. I went to Fulham away. I didn't even know half the fans. I've never seen them in my life, but they go home and away. They didn't even acknowledge me. The real Arsenal fans aren't like that. The real Arsenal fans take it or leave it. They're the ones who go in a pub and discuss it at the game. They don't go on social media.
100%.
I wouldn't say real. I wouldn't say real.
1%.
But the real Arsenal fans are online as well. Don't think they're not.
Yeah,
These
innit?
guys
Yeah,
are Arsenal fans as well.
I do both, innit? So I get
I
it
don't
as well.
know pubs.
Exactly.
I don't
But
drink.
what I'm trying to say is that the guys you see at football, right, they're not the same as the content creators. They're not going to go and have a meltdown. You got, whether we like it or not, we're in a situation where some of us are content creators. If you're a content creator, you're doing this full time, you have to create content.
Yeah.
Good or bad or
The thing
ugly.
is, though, Kenny, right? Just quickly.
Definitely.
Because like what Dan just said there was that if we lose or we draw, there'll be a meltdown. And I agree, there will be some that are screaming in cameras saying, "Oh my God, get this guy out. He's rubbish," right? That's just what's going to happen in content. But there will also be, we've beaten Atletico Madrid 4-0. We're going to win the Champions League and the Premier League. And this is the best Arsenal side in history. And people might go, "Whoa, that's extreme." So I think it is just literally two sides of it. Some people will see us win and go, "I've never seen anything like this." Like Arsene Wenger, mate, he ain't got nothing on Arteta. And you got someone we lose going, "This guy's a clown, get him out." And I think that is just football fans, man. And I think it's the same with Liverpool when they've lost 3 in a row. Get this guy slot out. Who the hell is he? Same with Thomas Frank. Get him out. You've got so many fans I look at that are reactionary. It isn't just Arsenal. It's just that Arsenal have got one of the biggest voice alongside Man United in content world. They just have. So now everyone thinks Arsenal's fan base is the biggest delusion of all, and Manchester United aren't far behind them. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Let me do these couple of supers, and I've got a couple of questions quick before we wrap up. Ejab says, bottom gooners behave like Real Madrid fans. I don't know why Real Madrid always get compared, by the way, but, you know, it is what it is. Marco says, you guys can't be mad at a fan or fans for wanting Arteta out. It's been 20 years without the league. These are fans who want best for the club. I will say this. I don't think we can blame Arteta for not winning the league for 21 years.
Exactly.
Right? We can definitely blame Arteta for not winning the league for the time he's been here, but we can't for the last 21 years. I think that's a bit extreme.
But what I will say, though, is he's the longest standing manager after Pep in the league. And if he starts winning trophies, he might even get to 20 years being at the club, because it doesn't look like he's leaving anytime soon. He's been there for 9 years.
Come on, now, none of that, D. Come on,
he's been there for 9 years. He's been there 9 years.
No more than you're never going to see a manager
25 trophies
do more than 10 years. Well, you won't see the modern manager.
Arteta's not leaving anytime soon, bro.
You've not, no, but you ain't going to do 20 years like Wenger and Sir Alex.
I won't put it past it, man.
I don't see a modern manager do it.
Everyone knows 2.5 years.
Pep's been there 10 years.
Do you think Pep's going to be here in 2 years' time at Man City?
Not Pep, but Arteta could be.
I don't think Pep's going to be at Man City after next season. I can't see it.
Pep, but Arteta will be at Arsenal longer than Pep was at City.
What about if he don't win anything this season?
Depends.
But that's why I said if he does win. If he wins and starts winning,
of course you are. Then you'd naturally be standing.
I'm talking about
the longevity. I'm talking about the longevity of how long.
Yeah, but you've got to win for the longevity, then, isn't you? Because you're at a point.
He's been there 9 years. He's been at 8 years and not one.
8 years. 8 years.
8 years, bro. You're adding years on.
7, 8 years. Give or take.
It's his 7th season. Yeah,
I can't see Mikel. I don't see. It's not because I don't think he's going to win. I don't see any modern manager doing more than 10 years, because the job is 24/7, and that and a bit more. I just think
Arteta could be here for a while, because we're only in phase 5, aren't we? We've got another 6 phases to go yet. Like, it'll definitely be here. That's for sure. Let me bring a couple of these quick questions in, man. Kenny, I'll put this one to you, because I walked along after the pub last night with Kenny, and he went, "Oh, that sausage Martinelli is playing," and I thought he was quality. Yeah, so is Martinelli the best left wing option right now?
No. I think he's played his best football when he's come off the bench. I still think that people talk about Martinelli's performance, and they're saying that he's definitely got a start on Sunday, and I respect that. But Trossard also played against Fulham, and he scored as well. So I do think, performance-wise this season, I think I would start with Trossard ahead of Martinelli. But long-term, if everyone's fit, I think Martinelli plays his best football when he's off the cuff, and that tends to be when he comes off the bench when defences are tight.
See, I think Trossard's a sub. Personally, I'd start Martinelli.
They're both.
You know what? Go on, sorry. Try to cut you again.
Let me tell you about Trossard and Martinelli. Nothing personally. Trossard's still a dibbly-dobbly, but the things when he's good. When he's a jack of all trades, but not really a master one. But he's quietly effective, and position-wise and up there, he's better than Martinelli. Martinelli is basically off the cuff. He's excellent, when we're out of possession, because he can go up and down with his pace. But in terms of craft, you know what? There's nothing much between them. But the fact is,
there's not. But if Martinelli kicks on, he's got way more. He's ceiling is way higher.
What's your positive, Dan?
Go on.
If a top class left winger was available, sure you'll get him in a heartbeat, wouldn't you?
Semenyu's there. Come on, man. If that guy would just complete
that's,
the whole team,
and that's the thing, and that's the situation. Martinelli is, and it's basically, I don't know if you like cricket, but you know there's a bowler that takes the wicket and another bowler that holds the end. Martinelli and Trossard are holding up an end until we get someone.
Yeah, there's not much between them. But
cricket in there, didn't you, Kim?
I love
there's
cricket.
not much between them. But if Martinelli has a good run, Martinelli could put, like, he scored 15 goals in the league before us, albeit it was a few seasons ago now. I don't think Trossard's ever capable of doing that. So I feel like if Martinelli hits form, you know, we could see a much better player than Trossard in form. I would be starting Martinelli on Sunday.
The reason why I would as well is it's at home, and I just want us to be able to play with a more of a pacier sort of like winger, you know, someone who can run inside and things like that. Trossard's obviously more keen on holding the ball up and in, maybe getting more into the play. I just think, you know, with Crystal Palace there, I would just rather see a few more runners, you know. He's a bit more dynamic, I think, than Trossard. I think he's more of a go for it player, and you can see why he played Trossard away at Fulham because he is that just a little bit more neater. He holds the football up a little bit more well. Obviously, Martinelli gets the ball and sometimes he runs it off the fucking pitch, for crying out loud. Very frustrating, but when it works, it works.
Martinelli's basically for your Walker with a Brazilian passport.
It's Javinho, bruv. Javinho with hair, isn't it? With a hairline that's there, not there.
The same thing. Very off the cuff, very quick.
He's better than Javinho. Martinelli's not better than Javinho.
Yes, he is, man. Come on, man. What are we doing here, bro? Javinho.
Martinelli better than Javinho. You're going
100. You're mad. Are you crazy?
No way, bro. Martinelli's terrible, bro.
Yeah, I'd take Martinelli over. Javinho was in no headband.
Yeah, the hairline back at
Hold on. Hey, D, are you saying Javinho? What are you saying?
Javinho's way better than Martinelli, bro.
Oh my God, he would have.
What? Javinho was horrific.
D, you're letting me down, D. You're letting me down.
Bro, Martinelli.
You think Javinho's better than Martinelli, bro?
Terrible take, man.
Oh, Javinho can take on players easy. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Do what? What did he ever do at
Arsenal?
You
don't got mad.
Javinho.
What did he ever do at Arsenal?
Hey, listen to the name again, bro. Not Ronaldinho, bro.
Javinho.
Javinho, not Ronaldinho. Javinho.
You see Martinelli, yeah? What players do you think?
Martinelli had a great season for Arsenal a few years ago. Javinho's never done anything like that for Arsenal. Martinelli got 15
11 goals. Javinho got 11 goals at Arsenal. That was it.
In total. And how many appearances?
His finishing was bad, but his dribbling was... You could take players on easy.
So bad.
His finishing was poor.
Finishing was so bad.
He's still going.
Didn't we play him up top as well at one stage? I'm sure we played him as a striker a few games.
I don't rate Martinelli at all, bro. I don't rate him at all.
Always offside as well.
He's not better than Haleb. You think he's better than someone like Haleb?
Haleb was quality though, man. Haleb's footwork and all of that.
Do you know what? Just quickly though, boys. Strict off. I don't know whether I heard Rob. I think he was making a good point. Was you saying that Trossard and Martinelli are both kind of subs? Was that what you were saying? Did I hear wrong? They're both almost like subs, isn't they? Was one? Sorry. When I want to go get some Haribo, my kids ate all my fucking Haribos on Monday, so I'm eating theirs now. I'm sorry, I've just got to the cupboard and
you're a wicked man, you know. You're a wicked man.
I know, and they're going to be upset at me in the morning, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see their little faces. That's how you made me feel. Do you know what I mean? It's got to be done.
Kids, man.
I know, yeah. On Monday, they got to learn. They got to learn. But listen, look, the point then. Okay, I'll take from what you were saying is Martinelli and Trossard. They're almost both off the bench players, aren't they? And you'd love that Semenyo or Rodrigo or someone like that, wouldn't you? They're both sort of sub players coming off the bench. You know what I mean? We haven't really got.
Semenyo can step it up at a bigger club. That's just general question. It's not.
I think so.
100%.
I think what's going to happen is Eze is going to be the left winger. So we haven't even had that yet. Eze or Madueke, we haven't even had the chance to see Eze there for a sustained period of time. That's what the difference is. When you got good footballers can play together. So when Odegaard comes back and Eze is on the left, both of Martinelli and Trossard will be on the bench. Then we've got a strong bench all of a sudden. Because neither of them should be starting. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I think we need
that left side is probably one area that definitely I don't think anyone in this panel will disagree. Needs cosmetic and medical makeup.
Definitely,
like surgery, 100%. Like
Yeah,
I think right now I'm content that they're there and they putting in performances here and there. But if you was to ask me in a heartbeat, would I replace Trossard? Would I replace Martinelli to an extent? I like Martinelli, don't get me wrong, but I definitely do think they are still levels above. If you look at every other position, you won't get anyone levels above Gabriel Magalhaes or Saliba. You won't get anyone levels above Timber. You won't get anyone levels above Saka. You won't get. Do you get what I'm saying? But that
what about a goalkeeper?
No,
Boys, can I ask a question? Do you think we've got any world class players, or do they have to win trophies before we?
No, we've got world class players.
That's an
Definitely.
interesting question.
I'll tell you what world class players are.
It's a nice little segue to ask that question because I was asked about world class the other week, and there was about 400 definitions about what world class is, right? So I've broken the question down a bit better, right?
Okay.
How many of these Arsenal players do you think would walk into any team in the world and make them better?
Gabi, Magalhaes.
No, there's a few. There's
Gabriel.
a few. So it depends. Well, first, it depends on what team you're talking about because
Any team.
no, it determines because someone like David Raya,
let's say PSG because we'd say they're the best team in the world.
Let me explain what I mean because someone like David Raya, who is just as good as any goalkeeper in the world, wouldn't necessarily make Liverpool better because they've got a player that is just as good as him. That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying the level that he's at is just as good as a world class player. So
but then that's what will make him world class. If he can dethrone whatever is there.
Yeah, but then again, what I'm saying is Saka, Declan Rice.
Is Saka world class?
Definitely. Saka, Declan Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber.
No, but what about other people? Is anyone else think Saka's world class?
Of course he is. Kenny, don't do this.
No, Dan ain't saying nothing.
Who, me?
No,
Saka. Bukayo Saka, or are you talking about a different Saka?
No, I'm talking to positive Dan. I haven't heard what he's got to say. I've heard your view a long time, but I haven't heard positive Dan.
Look,
I want to hear
with world class. I do think that you have to have the trophies to be considered world class. I don't know. I do feel like that, but in saying that though, Gabriel for me, I would say is more world class than Saka because for me, Dan, I watched your video earlier. You said it. For me, Gabriel is the best centre back in the world right now. So that is definitely world class because you're the best. You know, and Saka, obviously, we're waiting to see. I think Saka needs to get like 20, have them 20 goal seasons to be world class.
Wait, what right winger is better than Saka in the world right now?
No, it's not. Listen to what positive Dan says.
No, because he said that Gabriel's the best centre back in the world.
Listen to what he just said,
what right winger is better than Saka?
Listen to his
probably go with Lamine Yamal, no?
I ain't swapping Yamal for Saka.
What?
Why not?
Never.
You not do that.
Why?
You'd swap Yamal for Saka. Your guy, man.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Never ever.
Lamine Yamal.
Right now.
Yamal, man.
No way.
Yamal's better than Saka.
Younger hasn't had a grade 3 hamstring in 100%.
I'm not swapping Yamal for Saka, bro. Never in a million years, bro.
Would you not, D? Really?
Never in a million years.
That's crazy,
never in a million years.
If Saka was the best player in the world,
Saka's cool, man. I like Saka, but
I love Saka to bits, but Lamine Yamal, man, come on, man. I think this guy's the next.
Come on, man. If Saka was up Barcelona, you don't think he'd be doing what Yamal's doing?
No, I think Arsenal are better than Barcelona.
Come on, man. Let's be serious, man.
I'm not taking Yamal, bro. I'm with D.
Not taking Yamal over Saka.
Bro, I'm looking at the brother stats, bro.
Do you know how many goals he scored last year?
Yeah, Stritzer, you never said.
Does anyone know how many goals he scored last year? Does anyone know?
Yeah, but Stritzer,
I think it was like 11 or something.
You didn't answer the question when I asked the panel whether he was world class yet. The only person who said he was world class in his panel just now was D, not you. But you said nothing.
No, because everyone else was talking. I can't talk when people talk.
What's your view on it, though?
Yeah, I do think it's Saka's world class.
Describe why, how. No, it's just a question. It's just a general question.
What? My definition of world class, or why I think Saka?
Why you think he is?
Because I like the question is, would Saka play or get into most teams in the world? I believe he would. I believe Saka would get into Bayern Munich. I believe Saka would get into most the top teams in the world.
PSG? Does he play for PSG?
Do you know what I mean? Stricto.
Is he better than is he better than Dembele?
Dembele.
I know they're playing more up top.
Let me not lie. Dembele is a different gravy, bro. Dembele is it's a player that I actually like, so it's hard for me to even.
But do you know how many goals? How many goals does Yamal get? He got 5 goals in the league last year. 5.
Saka.
I think with Yamal, it's just
5 goals
on the eye, innit? Like
he's only 17, though. But like,
I think why Saka suffers a lot in this debate, yeah, is what you just said, Dan. I think Saka's not the most aesthetically pleasing on the ball. You don't see Saka doing flicks. He's literally. In fact,
I'm not. I love Saka, I think there's more to come from him.
You'd even struggle to see Saka doing step overs. Do you get what I'm saying? But one thing Saka does do, which puts him above, in my opinion, above most right wingers, is he does the right things at the right time, nearly all the time. That's one thing.
You know how Phil Foden had that outstanding season and they won, not last season, the season before, and he got Player of the Year, Player of the Year, scored 20+ goals. I want to see that from Saka. I want to see 20+ goals from him.
I agree.
And I want to.
Yeah.
Well, just what 20 goals or 20 goals?
He's not up and down like that.
Even in all comps, isn't it? You know,
20 goals or 20 goals involvement.
Are we saying then that Saka, how many players would you think would walk into any team? Saka, Saliba, Gabriel.
I think for sure it's Declan Rice, 100%. He goes into any team in the world.
Do you know what? Go on. Yeah, do you know what? It's one of them, yeah. The players that we're naming, and to go back to the world-class thing, especially with Arsenal players, we've got a few knocking on the door, haven't we? Yeah. You know, you got Gabriel and Saliba. Like some will say they're world-class. I think they're knocking on that door. Timber's beating on that door to be world-class. Yeah. Some people are saying Saka's there. Some people are saying Rice might be there. So we've got probably a core 5 that all of us would consider in a debate. If or so that way, I reckon.
Everyone thinks them.
So let me say, if Saka comes in,
only three of them are world class in that. Only three.
What three?
The first 3.
Let Aaron say what he's going to say. Sorry, let Aaron say what he's going to say.
Yeah. No, let's go. Yeah.
No, Aaron, say what you're saying.
You have a 20+ goal season, yeah. Say he has a Salah season, Saka, a coming of age season where, all right, he's carried Arsenal Football Club over the last 5 or so years. He's been magnificent. I'm never going to take that away from him. But when you're that sort of winger, you're the star boy, you're this, you're that. You need to do what like the likes of Thierry Henry's done and your Robert Pires has done. Your contributions need to matter. And I'm not saying they haven't mattered, but they need to matter towards the title winning side. So that's a coming of age thing for Saka. Get the 20 thing, and then I'll go, do you know what? He might be considered world class here. There. You're looking at Timber then as a Premier League winner, and you're thinking that is the best one of the best right backs in the world, without shadow of a doubt. You're looking at Gabriel, what he's doing up top, and at the back, then a winner of a marathon of one of the best leagues on the planet. You're thinking, that's one of the best.
Gabriel hasn't won it either, though.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. I just feel like this team, it's
Saka last season, though,
and I do think like I would happily. Sorry for me to say to round it off. For me to say, if Arsenal was to win the league this year with said things sort of happening, I'll go, Saka probably could be, considered world class. Saliba, he's knocking on that door. Gabriel, I'd say Timber, I'd say So we're there or thereabouts. But you've got to have something on.
The reason why, sorry to cut you off here, the reason why I don't bring it down to trophies is because it takes more than just that. Let's say, for instance, now, if you look at the last Liverpool team that won the league, you got players like Harvey Elliott, Darwin Núñez, who played their part in Liverpool's season, whether or not you want to accept it or not.
Of course they did.
But we can't say just because they won something. Harry Kane's probably the prime example.
I get what you're saying.
Harry Kane's probably the prime example. Been setting levels year in, year out, until he made the move to Bayern, where even
that's different though, because of the levels that he's doing it at. You have to say he's world class. 40 goals a season. Saka ain't doing that, is he?
Put it on just.
If Saka was scoring 40 goals a year,
you can add to the conversation of.
Yamal scored 5 and you're calling him world class.
You can add to it, but I just think To me, there's so many
5 goals.
categories and criteria.
Last year, he got 5 goals,
Yeah.
5 assists in La Liga.
With your mouth, I've only seen it play a handful of times, and when I've seen it,
Victor.
it looked
Yeah, but what I'm
class.
saying is,
No,
one minute we're saying Saka has to get the 20 goals.
No one said he's world class on the panel, by the way. No one.
No, your Yamal is world class though, isn't he?
You brought that out of thin air. That's just you saying that. By the way.
No, I'm saying you're saying
you
Saka
literally
to be
just
world
pulled that out
class.
of thin air.
No, you said
So
Saka to be
one
world
person
class.
wrote it in the chat, and you've said it. Like,
Oh,
no
listen
one
hard
said
to
that.
say with
you have
Yamal.
to listen to what I'm saying before you say other stuff. What I'm saying is, you said that Saka to be world class has to have a breakout season of if he has 20 goals and leads to the
Why
title.
not? Why not?
That's what
Gareth Bell did.
Yeah, but
And
1 minute
Saka
you're
had a Gareth Bell
using
season.
stats
Yeah,
for
no,
him,
it's
but you're not
Saka-
using stats for Yamal.
All right, but Saka had a Gareth Bell season.
Yamal won the
Gareth
Euros
Bell's
and won the
last season
league.
at Tottenham, but Saka
I
had
also
a
never
season.
said Yamal was world class.
That's
So
the point
it's
I'm
irrelevant.
making. The point I'm making
He
is
won the
he's in
league and won the
Is that
Euros.
If
and
Saka
the
was
best
at
player.
Barcelona, do you think he wins the league? You don't think he wins the league?
These are
If you take
loads
that-
of
if you
different
take out Yamal,
questions
put
that
Saka in
negate
it.
from the original
Yeah,
point.
what about individually? Is in
Maybe.
terms of his individual performances? You think about Gareth Bell's last season at Tottenham. That earned him his route to Real Madrid. Have we ever seen Bukayo Saka have a Gareth Bell-esque, breakout season like he did in the 2012? Because Gareth Bell didn't win anything before he hit Real Madrid.
All right, okay. So take out
That's the
Yamal.
question I'm asking. It's not putting that goal aside. I think Bukayo Saka could be world class, but I think Bukayo Saka is more than capable.
He's
of
world class.
getting that. The reason why I'm saying that because he's a goal scorer as well. I'm just saying up to mate because he's capable of doing it. I'm not saying
in the last few years. It's only Salah. It's only Salah that's better than him in the Premier League.
You do. I'm not setting unrealistic targets. I think Bukayo Saka's more than capable of being a 20-goal season man. He's that good. But But in order for
injuries have slowed him down a bit, haven't they?
Yeah,
there's definitely players we got there in the question now. There's no doubt about it.
Bukayo Saka should be aiming for now, surely.
Yeah, we've got players that in the question.
What it is with Saka, the season before when we went really close and we nearly won the league, the 89-point season, most goals scored, most wins, all of that. That season there, when Saka was phenomenal and was on the borderline world class, but last season he did dip a little bit. Last season, he had a really bad injury as well.
Yeah, definitely.
He was out for 3 months. He's just come back now, and we're starting to just see that the old Saka's coming back a little bit. But look, this team's so good now. But this team's so good now. We don't have to just rely all through Saka. Saka's been dragging us all on his own for these years, so we don't have even in that game. Of course, he's our main man, but we don't have to just rely on Saka.
He's the man.
Can I just quickly respond to her? Just quickly to mine and Stricto's little side thing about the when we was talking about the trophies and that. I actually agree with you, Stricto, there about the trophies. I get that. You know, a lot of players do just randomly have trophies and they just go, "Oh, you're world class because you got trophies." The only point I was sort of saying is, like, I want them to have trophy winning contributions. So you're right, the Harvey Elliott's and the things like that, they can just have trophies, so that don't make them world class. But the point that I was sort of meaning was I want these players to have trophy winning contributions. You know what I mean? Not just the label of being a Premier League winner, but, being a massive part of why they won it sort of thing. That was my sort of point, mate. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, bruv. Like, I love Saka and I hate Spurs, but that last comment, man, come on, bruv. Bale was player of the season. The things Bale was doing.
No, Bale was better than Saka.
23, 24 was not like fucking... Was not like Bale that season. Come on,
Bale was world class when he was doing that.
Pure world class. He was bending him into the top
Saka's capable of doing it. Saka's capable of doing it, bro.
No,
I'm not saying he's not, but he's not done it yet.
I think also.
So is Saliba world class? Let's do it. Is Saliba world class?
I don't think he is.
Not yet.
You don't think Saliba's world class?
It's coming.
Not yet.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I get so annoyed with the whole Saliba thing. Yeah. Honest to God, Saliba is a better footballer than Gabriel. Composure, can spray the ball and all this, but he's nowhere near Gabriel as a defender.
Yeah.
I think you take Gabriel away from that partnership is done. Take Saliba out of that partnership, wherever there's still a partnership there. That's
but he's still, but he's incredible, man. I don't think Saliba is brilliant, bro.
Not
only that as well. Gabriel's 27. Saliba's not 27 years old.
He's not world class. He might get there, but I'm saying, I think what people do a disservice to Gabriel, because when they talk about the Arsenal defense, first thing they talk about is Saliba. Where in all actuality, All the
Not
dirty-
anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Even to it had to take him to start scoring goals before people started seeing what he was capable of.
Yeah.
He's
know
the defender that no striker wants to play against because he's fucking ugly at doing the things he does. He gets behind you, he puts you in the air. Bro, do you remember when Saliba lost 10 aerial duels to Ivan Toney? 10.
Was that 1-1 where they went?
You would never get that with Gabby. Never.
True.
Never.
Yeah. Do you know what as well? It's one of them
Yeah,
things.
but Gabby had to learn that, though, bro. Gabby was a bozo for 2 years. You had to learn that, bro.
If you said which one of them two centre backs would you take out that team for 5 games? I'm taking Saliba out, man. I'm like easily. I'm not even thinking about it. I want Gabriel in there. Oh, like, absolutely, and that says it all for me. There you go. I rely on him.
They're both as good as each other, though, overall, aren't they?
Gabriel,
they're both brilliant. They're both brilliant. But Gabriel, for this Arsenal team, he's more important than Saliba is right now.
And a leader. And
they
he's a
work
leader.
brilliantly together.
And he's a leader. That's another part. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
When Saliba gets to 27, that's a different conversation. If we're talking about right now, if you see the players that player get, for example, right, Mascara, for example, coming in, he's looking at Gabby thinking that's big Gabby, that's big bro. He's not looking at Saliba and thinking that's big bro. In his head, he might think, I'm on the same level with this guy. I don't think he thinks that with Gabby. I think he looks at Gabby and think, that's a fucking man right there. Like, if anything happens, I'll go to war for him. I'll go
leader, and he. Yeah. He's a leader, and he.
No one really wants to fuck with Gabby, bro.
No, man.
I'd rather have a punch up with Bale than Gab, mate. 100%.
He gets overlooked time in, time out. He's better than Van Dijk. And people are going to point out what Van Dijk
better than Van Dijk.
He is better than Van Dijk.
Who's better than Van Dijk? He's not better than Van Dijk.
Gabriel is much better than Van Dijk now.
I'm up for the debate. I want to hear more of this.
Oh my God.
I'm up for this debate.
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk's on the decline.
Van Dijk get violated so many times, bro. I can't tell you how many times, bro. Who remembers when Man United played Liverpool? Yeah, when Van Dijk was at his pump, when no one could get past him, and Marcus fucking Rashford had Van Dijk skating when they did a body to body, bro. Had him skating.
Bro, Van Dijk, you can't even get past Van Dijk.
Not prime Van Dijk.
Stepping back, twerking. How you gonna get past man that's flying back twerking? He doesn't engage.
You think Van Dijk's on the wane then?
Van Dijk is different level to every centre back in the world in the last 10 years.
Get out of here.
He's better than every centre back.
No, not right now.
Are we comparing Gabriel to Van Dijk?
Get out of here.
I think he's better.
No,
would you swap? Would you swap them? Would you swap Gabriel for Van Dijk?
No.
Bro, the only reason I wouldn't swap them is because I'm emotionally attached to Gabriel. Van Dijk is better than him in everything. There's nothing Gabriel does. There's nothing Gabriel does that's better than Van Dijk.
Yeah, but you know what?
Scores more goals than him.
Because it suits him. If Van Dijk was doing it, if we swap Van Dijk for Gabriel, he would score the same amount of goals, bro.
No, he wouldn't.
No way.
No
way in hell.
No, I'm not going to agree with that.
No, bro, you lot.
Van Dijk is good in the air, though. Van Dijk is good in the air.
We see it today. He scored. He scored with his nuts today.
He's a monster in the air.
He's a monster, but Gabby is a fighter jet in the air, bro. Different levels.
Yeah. Well, listen, the record speaks for itself.
I'm just going by this season, innit? Going by this season, I think he's declined.
You would take. I think everyone would. If you said you can sign one for the next 3 years, you're taking Gabriel, he's 27 and Van Dijk's 34, right?
All right, for one season.
Yeah, Van Dijk.
Liverpool fans,
we're saying it on this season.
Liverpool fans will take Gabriel over Van Dijk.
This season, he's not been better than him.
Not just Gabriel that's been better than him. Saliba's been better than Van Dijk this season as well.
No.
Yeah, so they're better than this year.
Saliba's been brilliant all season.
That's what I mean, though. Van Dijk is
overall. If you're talking about the play, you can't compare Gabriel to Van Dijk.
Let me ask you a question. Yeah, let me ask you a question, D. Yeah, they're both defenders. Yeah, what? I don't want you to say it just because he is. I want you to break it down to me. What is Van Dijk better than Gabriel?
Never ever, hardly ever makes a mistake in years. Hardly ever. You can't get past him. You can't get past him. Gabriel, you have also teams with Gabriel. Passing, Van Dijk's passing is 100 times better than Gabriel's.
Mm-hmm. What about defending?
1 second, his defending's better than Gabriel's, and not only that, in the air you can't win headers against. You can't win headers against Van Dijk. There's no headers. If the ball goes in the air, Van Dijk wins every header.
Brother, Van Dijk makes mistakes. Let's not lie.
But hardly.
No. He makes mistakes. Van Dijk makes a lot of mistakes.
No, he doesn't.
Van Dijk makes mistakes. He does. I'm not saying Gabby doesn't, but Van Dijk makes mistakes. The only avenue or the only criteria that I agree with you on is passing, and that is where it starts and stops.
You can't win a header against Van Dijk. No
you
one.
Win a header every single player against Gabby.
If you ask every player who's the hardest defender to play against, every single person says Van Dijk.
You can't win a header against Gabby.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Go on.
All right, we're gonna move. We'll be here forever. Let's do these supers and then we get out of here. Ra says Saka had a better goal and assist than Yamal last season. I don't know how many goals Yamal and assists he had actually.
He got 10 in the league.
10 goals in the league. Okay.
10 goals and assists in the league. 5 and 5.
10 goals and assists. SG says, I disagree on D putting Eze on the left wing. He looks a lot better in the midfield. I definitely don't want to see Ødegaard starting. It's a shame because when Ødegaard was fit, against Newcastle and Olympiacos, I thought he looked quality and then he gets bloody injured again. So frustrating. The only thing I will say, SG, is Kai Havertz will be coming back and he will be playing. I don't know where, but he will be playing. He will definitely be playing. Ra says 23-24 season, Saka scored 20 goals and got 17 assists. That was where he got he's got, I think the last 2 of those seasons, he got over 30 GA, which was just scary to be fair. And then Ra has a question for the panel. He says, is Raya world class?
Yep. Yes, he is.
That's a tough one. 2
He's
golden gloves in a row.
He's levels above what we've had before. He's levels above Ramsdale.
I'll tell you what, though, who's the Spain number 1? He must be out of this world because how he starts.
He's not as good as Raya.
He ain't as good as Raya. How he starts his Spain.
I agree on that. Yeah.
Right.
Is Raya the Spanish number 2 goalkeeper, number 3?
He's number 2. He's number 2.
Number 2.
But I tell you, there's a lot. With Spain, there's a lot of politics and that kind of stuff with Spain. They prefer players that play over there than they do players that play anywhere else. But Raya,
is a good goalie. But Unai Simon still is a good goalie, though.
No, he's a good keeper. But when I think world class,
he went in the Europa League, innit, against United. Was he the keeper?
I haven't watched him enough. I think
world class,
I've only seen him in the international tournaments.
I ain't got a clue how good he is at all.
Raya, corners, set pieces, is very good. He comes for his height. He's not the tallest of goalkeepers, but he's got almost orangutan long arms.
Casillas was only 6'1", wasn't he? Iker Casillas.
Yeah. It's the same, around the same height as Casillas. But he's got orangutan.
Another great ball from Arteta.
Long ass arms, you hardly get him at set pieces. It's corners. His hands are massive. And then ball at his feet, his composure. Yeah, sometimes he does a bit of madness. But what goalkeeper don't? What goalkeeper don't? You've seen it from what's the Bayern Munich keeper? The robot. What's his name?
Ter Stegen.
Neuer.
Yeah.
He was world class, but he still had mistakes in him. Same with Alisson.
He was the best. He was the best for years.
Yeah.
I think
generation,
I do think Raya is one of the best.
I think Neuer is overrated. I'm not going to lie to you.
Is Raya better than Donnarumma as a shot stopper?
I thought Neuer was the most overrated.
Neuer was out of this world.
1-on-1. Nah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think anyone's better than.
Because of the size of him, I think he wins in things like agile and reflexes and things like that. Obviously, Donnarumma's probably got. I won't actually say that. That sounds very, very weird. But he's a bit taller than him, basically. You know what I mean? No. You know what I'm saying? He's got a bit more height than Geezer. Do you know what I mean? He's more agile, isn't he? I'll tell you, the reactions on the Geezer, man. Some of the second saves that he's made, or when it's come off the post and he's had to go. Ollie Watkins comes to mind, against Aston Villa. Come up, I think, how's he got his glove to that? Granted, Ollie Watkins should have put the ball in the back of the net, regardless. He's a striker. But either way, don't take away from the save. It was unbelievable. He's made a lot of them.
Remember the penalty against Atlanta? Where
that's the other one in the Champions League. That's the other one I was thinking about. The double save, spot on Stricto. Yeah, that was fantastic, man.
I think what he lacks in terms of Donnarumma is his size. Like you said, Donnarumma has got a bigger wingspan. So he spreads himself. That pause spreads himself.
Oh no, it's hard sometimes, isn't it? Not to. Do you know what I'm saying?
But Reyes kicking.
I'm not doing the pause again. I'm saying how I feel.
I was
But
like,
Ray
he's
is
got a couple of
distribution.
inches on him. I'm like, I shouldn't really say that. You know what I mean? It sounds well weird.
Right, on that note, we're going to come to a close, man. Big up to everyone that's been here. Big up to everyone for the super chats. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and you're following every single one of these, man. Make sure you're following Kenny Ken on Instagram, Aaron Talks Arsenal on YouTube, Famzone TV with D and the guys over there. You've got Positive Dan on Gooners Therapy. Make sure you're showing some love over there to Positive and Negative Dan. And make sure you're also showing some love to Strict on all platforms, man. Big up to everyone that's been in here. D, I don't know where you got your stats from, man, but Yamal scored 32 goals.
Yeah, I'm talking about the season before.
it's the season before. Okay. I counted up someone who said in the chat.
And not the most relevant one then, no?
Yeah.
No, because they were comparing what they do in the chat. They don't understand.
Nicely done.
No, because they're comparing to certain stats. So
It says he's got 16 league goals. 16 league goals.
Listen, you know what it is.
16 league goals and 78 appearances.
You know what you're doing, D, you get. Come on, man.
I'm trying to explain in comparison to when Saka got his stats, but they didn't want to. They're not
78 appearances, 16 goals he's got. 16 goals in 78. In 78 appearances.
When Saka got his better season, that's when he battered.
You're comparing it to the Saka season he had and when he had 5. I get you now.
Precisely, but obviously they do it at different points. They're not. You talk at different times, isn't it? But I already get Aaron doing his thing as well. You know what I mean? So
sorry, bruv.
Listen, people, it's been a great show. Actually, it's been great debate throughout. Big up to Igal, will come on as well. Igal talks football. Make sure you're showing him some love, and I'm sure we'll be back over the next couple of days to talk all things Arsenal leading up to the Palace game. So big up to everyone that's been here. Make sure you're showing some love to the sponsors. Match Bingo, link in the live chat and in the description. Use the code POTS and you'll get a discount. And if you show some love to OK Jerseys, that would be cool as well because they've been good to us. See you next time. We're out of here, people. Up the Arsenal.
Cheers, man.